So today I'm going to talk to you about our final project using Arduino. What we did was we scraped data from the internet pertaining the amount of usage of megawatts that each one of these sources was using, being coal, nuclear, oil and solar power. And when you slide along there, each one will flash or spin depending on the amount of power that's being used. The brighter the bulb or the faster the spin, the more power being used. So it's a visual representation. In order to do that, what we had to do was scrape the data from this website here, the BNE reports website. Once we had that, it was simply just a case of sending it from Arduino to processing and back again. The only problem was getting the actual data itself, because the data came in a table. If we needed to try and get each individual number that we needed, this ended up not being possible because of the way that it was uploaded to the website. So what we had to do was scrape the data from the website that gave us the downloadable PDF file text file, and then scrape all the data from the actual text file that was being scraped from the internet. This wasn't too much of an issue until we realised what the text file was actually going to look like, as it was ridiculously text heavy. We had to go through it with a fine tooth comb. This is the text file, so as you can see it is very, very big. So we literally had to go through it line by line and look for the numbers that represented the numbers that we were needing. Once we found that out, all this pretty much got deleted as we didn't need it. It ended up being just one or two lines somewhere near the bottom that actually represented the stuff that we did need. It was down here somewhere, and the rest just got discarded, so it wasn't as much of a pain as you might think, but certainly more than what we were expecting. The other point, once we did that, we had to figure out a way of knowing whether or not processing and Arduino were speaking to each other. And given that Arduino doesn't come with a debugger, Dave came up with the ingenious invention of making his own debugger. And basically what happened was, if the correct information was being passed, it would light up green. However, if it wasn't the correct information being passed, it would light up red, therefore giving us an indication of whether or not it was working. And that's it. That's more or less the sort of quick rundown version of how we did what we did for the final project. If you have any questions or want to know ahead, then just leave a comment in the section below and we will try and get back to you. Thanks.